My man married my best friend, and she even made me a maid of honor. I walked into the wedding only to find out that the groom she had been hiding from us was actually my man. The night before the wedding, we celebrated Blessing's bridal shower at a nice lounge. The atmosphere was filled with laughter, drinks, and excitement. As the night progressed, the conversation of course turned to the mystery groom. Everyone was curious, especially since Blessing had never shown us a picture of her fiance. Our friends were relentless, pestering her to reveal his identity. Blessing just laughed it off, saying it was a surprise and that we'd all meet him tomorrow. Her secretiveness only fueled their curiosity, but I stood by her, reassuring everyone that if even I, her best friend, hadn't seen him, then they should calm down. "Blessing, this is so unlike you," Tayo said, her voice slightly slurred from the cocktails. "How can you be getting married to a guy you've only known for 2 months? Blessing's response was quick and confident. "When it's him, it's him. There's no need to waste any more time when you know what you found, and I have found the one." The night continued with jokes, dancing, and toasts to Blessing's future happiness. But a nagging feeling settled in my chest. How could she be so sure so quickly? And why had she kept him such a secret from all of us? The next day, the banquet hall was transformed into a paradise. Brightly colored flowers adorned every corner, and the aroma of delicious dishes wafted through the air. I helped Blessing with last-minute adjustments to her gown, admiring how radiant she looked. As the guests settled into their seats and the music filled the air, I walked out to the main hall to check on the final arrangements. That's when I saw him. A man standing at the altar, his back to me. There was something eerily familiar about him, but I couldn't quite place it. Curiosity piqued. I made my way towards him. As I drew closer, my heart began to pound. The man turned and our eyes locked. My breath caught in my throat. It was Charles, my boyfriend of 2 years. The man who I thought was away on a business trip. The man who had promised me forever. Charles' eyes widened in shock before he quickly masked it with a forced smile. "Oyin, I can explain." Before I could say more, Blessing appeared beside him, her hand slipping into his. The sight was like a dagger to my heart. My best friend and my boyfriend, together. The shock was overwhelming. Blessing's wide, bright smile was now a cruel reminder of her betrayal. "I see you've met Charles. I was hoping he would have told you everything by now." The world spun around me. Betrayal washed over me in waves. How could they do this to me? How could my best friend and my boyfriend keep such a secret? The reality was too painful to grasp. "You knew," I accused silently. "You knew it was my boyfriend, and yet you still..." Blessing's expression hardened, her eyes glinting with something I had never seen before. "Yes, Oyin, I knew, and now he is mine. I guess he wasn't as committed to you as you thought. Charles loves me, not you. So I thought you had been told and you were fine with it. Stop being dramatic. People are watching. You can't ruin my happy day." I stood there dumbfounded, staring at both of them. Their words echoed in my mind, but none of it made any sense. How could they possibly justify that betrayal? The guests around us had begun to murmur, their eyes filled with curiosity and pity. All burst with whispers and murmurs as I stood there, rooted in place, struggling to comprehend the betrayal. The people I trusted the most had shattered my heart in the most public, humiliating way. Blessing and Charles seemed nonchalant about the chaos they had caused, their smiles fixed as they tried to maintain the facade of a perfect wedding. I felt a hand on my shoulder, snapping me out of my stupor. It was Tayo, her eyes wide with concern. "Oyin, are you okay?" she whispered, trying to lead me away from the altar. I shook my head, my eyes still locked on Blessing and Charles. I needed answers, but more than that, I needed to regain my dignity. Summoning every ounce of strength, I straightened my back and looked directly at them. "Blessing, Charles, you thought you could blindside me, but know this, nothing will excuse the deceit and pain you've caused me. Don't worry." With that, I turned and walked out of the hall. leaving the shocked guests and the wedding behind. Over the next few days, I avoided contact with both Blessing and Charles. After barely a week of the wedding, I received a message from Blessing. Against my better judgment, I opened it. Her words were filled with defensiveness, blaming me for the tension and drama at our wedding and insisting that she and Charles were meant to be. It was clear that she felt no remorse at all. Her message read, "Oyi, you need to move on. Charles chose me, and I thought you would understand that. Stop being dramatic. It's over between you two. He loves me now." I felt a surge of anger and disbelief. How could she be so callous? But instead of responding with the same anger, I decided to rise above her pettiness. I deleted the message and blocked her number. There was no point engaging with someone who was that mad. Life slowly continued. I threw myself into work and hobbies, finding joy in the little things. It was during this time of healing that I met Akin, a kind and understanding man who showed me what genuine love and respect felt like. Our relationship blossomed, and I realized that the betrayal had been a blessing in disguise. Months later, I saw through the blogs that Blessing and Charles' marriage was falling apart. Charles had apparently cheated on Blessing just as he had betrayed me. It seemed karma was delivering its justice. But the worst was yet to come for Blessing, because soon I received a frantic call from Tayo. "Oyi, have you heard about Blessing? Charles tried to poison her." My heart skipped a beat. "What? How? Is she okay?" Tayo's voice was shaky. "She survived, but barely. Charles ran away with most of her assets. She found out he was broke and in debt. He only married her for her money." The news was both shocking and grimly satisfying. Blessing had thought she had won by stealing Charles, but she had only been deceived and betrayed in the worst way possible, just like she did to me. I feel sorry for her, but at the same time I could not help but feel a sense of justice. A few days later, I went to see Blessing. She looked haggard and defeated, a far cry from the radiant bride she had been. Her eyes met mine, and for a moment I saw a flicker of regret. "Oyi," she started, her voice shaky, "I am sorry for everything. I was a bad friend." I looked at her, feeling a mix of pity and relief. "Blessing, you made your bed and now you have to lie in it. This is the consequences of your action. I forgive you though." With that, I walked away feeling lighter than I had in months. The betrayal had hurt deeply, but it also led me to a place of strength and new beginnings. I learned to value myself, to stand up against the betrayal, and to open my heart to true love as I got married to Akin. If you want many more stories like this to continue, please like, share,